What's up? Long time no see, y'all. This is going to be not like your typical Big Fooly video. You're not gonna see my face. I'm actually doing a voiceover, so. My shirt says plant-based. Because that's what we talking about here today. The importance of being plant-based. You know what I'm saying? We God consciousness, God light frequencies, God-minded individuals. So who am I if I'm not teaching you how to be a God? And the part of that is eating plant-based. So yeah, yeah. If you ain't doing that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, yo, what's good? Let's talk about this plant-based diet. People love to say, oh, vegans don't eat, they don't get their protein. Where do you get your protein from? Vegan diets, plant-based diets, they lack protein. What are proteins and what do they do? Proteins are large, complex molecules that play many critical roles in the body. They do most of the work in cells and are required for the structure, function, and regulation of the body's tissues and organs. Proteins are made up of hundreds or thousands of smaller units called amino acids, which are attached to one another in long chains. There are 20 different types of amino acids that can be combined to make a protein. If we see that proteins are made up of different types of amino acids, and the sequence of amino acids determines each protein's unique three-dimensional structure and its specific function, and amino acids are coded by combinations of DNA, that would mean, essentially, that when we eat proteins, whatever protein we eat in its molecular genetic DNA form that it's in, makes up the protein that we become. We are becoming what we eat. So the protein that we eat is the protein that we are. Literally, we are what we eat. So we look up here and we say, we go to foods that are high in protein. Lean meats, beef, lamb, veal, pork, kangaroo, poultry, chicken, turkey, duck, emu, goose, bush birds, fish and seafood, fish, prawns, crab, lobster, mussels, oysters, scallops, clams, eggs, dairy products, milk, yogurt, especially Greek yogurt, cheese, especially cottage cheese. It says your body uses these 20 different amino acids to make new proteins such as muscle and bone and other compounds such as enzymes and hormones. It can also use them as an energy source. So boom, 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 boom. Pause right there, right? So if our body is using the protein that we eat, right? Using it to make new muscles, new bones, new enzymes, whatever. I already insinuated that we are what we eat. So all that, we're getting our protein from chicken and beef and pork. All of that energy, every genetic molecular compound that makes up that pig or that chicken or that cow, their information, genetic information is now being stored in my body and is forming new proteins in my body, which is building up the new muscle in my body and the new tissue, all that stuff, right? That means I'm literally changing my DNA. My DNA is being changed, and every day, the more I eat this meat, I'm becoming more like that. Because that's what's giving me my energy source. That's what's making me who I am, is the beef and the chicken and the pork, all I eat. So all of that death energy, we're not even talking about spiritually and energetically speaking yet. We're just talking plain physical science here. Literally, it makes me who I am. So if we bring it to the next level and we start talking mentally, if I'm eating chicken every single day, I'm eating pork every single day, what effect is that having on my consciousness? Not only is it slowing me down physically, but mentally and emotionally. How does that affect me in the long term? So they love to say that vegans or plant-based people or whatever, vegetarians, however you identify, lack protein, right? But what happens when we actually look up, search the symptoms of lack of protein? You lose muscle mass, which in turn cuts your strength, makes it harder to keep your balance, and slows your metabolism. It can also lead to anemia when your cells don't get enough oxygen, which makes you tired, right? So what does that sound like to you? Because to me, that sounds a whole lot like this, bro. What are these people doing? This is exactly what they're talking about. This is what a lack of protein looks like. No muscle mass. No muscle mass. And no disrespect to these people that I'm using, but it's scientific, you know what I'm saying? With strength. With strength. With balance. If you walking on this, with balance. You already know how these people was eating. Straight meat every day. Every single day. Day after day after day. Meat, dairy, every day. Gluten. We haven't even started talking about the gluten. Literally, it's as simple as that. It's not even I don't even need to be proving you anything. That's just the karmic cycle of life. What you receive and what you give is what you get back. Or what you give back. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever you put in is what you get out. And whatever you put out is what you get back. Okay? So, putting it as simple as that. Karmic laws. Everything is governed by the universe. Everything is governed by these higher laws and these higher powers. These universal laws. These karmic laws. Okay, so if I'm sitting here and I'm eating dead meat every single day, what does that make me? Dead meat. Versus if I'm putting life in my body and I'm eating fruit and I'm eating vegetables. Oh yeah, and they love to say that eating a plant-based diet, you're killing the plant. But you're not eating the plant. You're eating the fruit of the plant. And even vegetables, you're not sitting here uprooting the whole plant to harvest your fruit and harvest your vegetables. You literally just take what the plant produces, and it has an infinite supply. So you already see there, it's an equal give and exchange between you and nature. As long as you water me, I will feed you. That's the relationship that we have. We came here to coexist with Mother Nature. And eating a plant-based diet is the ultimate form of that. You're literally eating the fruit of her womb, of the Mother Goddess's womb. It's literally coming straight from the earth. But if you sitting here and you're eating something that has been killed for the sole purpose of your consumption, that means that you're disregarding the life that animal has. And you're saying you need to feed yourself and that you're better and above that life source. You're literally a part of that animal's karma. And we already know how twisted and kindred karma can get and how really interconnected it is. So if you are putting that death energy, that means that their blood is in your hands, quite literally. And then on top of that, you go as far as putting it inside of your temple and digesting it and letting it pass through you. And then you're repeating the cycle. It's a ritual. This is a blood ritual. And it's sick. It's so sick because it's so normalized. It's so normalized and it's insane. It's a ritual. I could literally put the video right here. I'm going to do it. And I don't care if this gets copyrighted. We see the treatment that these animals get. And everything is energy. Everything is energy. So all of that negative energy that they give to these animals in these factories, because when you're eating the food, of course you're not thinking about that. But shoot, the higher power, God, Mother Earth, universe, Spirit, Divine sees all. The all-seeing eye. I am the all-seeing eye. I speak for the all-seeing eye. And I know, I see the truth. Ignorance is not bliss. Awareness is. Awareness is bliss. So if you're not even, if you don't know where your food is coming from and how your food got to you, bruh, you really should not be eating it. Because look, it's just common sense. You're not gonna go to no stranger's house if they offer you dinner right off the jump and just eat their food. No, why? Because you don't trust them. You don't know them. You don't know what they did. They could be doing anything. They could be plotting anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that, bruh. It's so sick. It's so sick. Because so many animals die and they're literally bred just to be killed and eaten. And there's a whole culture. There's a whole billion-dollar industry that thrives on these animals' deaths. That's sick. That's sick. That, you know what that is? That's putting money before life. And who justifies that? Because I know the laws of karma, the universe does not. And who is paying for this energy that is being served? The consumers. Literally. The people who are going to these stores and buying these meat products and going home and cooking it and eating it and putting it in their body. It's a ritual, bruh. It's a ritual. Literally, it's a ritual. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you are in a coexisting relationship with the divine, and the divine feeds your soul, feeds your spirit, feeds your body, feeds your mind, you are on a plant-based diet, because all your food comes from the divine. It comes from the earth. And let's talk about the importance of water, the universal source. And guess what? All water-based foods just so happen to be fruits and vegetables. Anyway, we already know that we are water beings. They try to say that we're 75%, 85% made up of water, but essentially everything is water, even down to the simplest, littlest molecular atomical form. Everything is made of water, just at different frequencies and different densities. Literally everything that exists has some form, percentage, component of water in it that makes it. So water is the source of life. Water is eternal. Water is the forever. Water is the heaven. Water is the abundance. Water is the truth because it doesn't die. You cannot create nor destroy water. And what did they say? You cannot create nor destroy energy. You cannot create nor destroy God. So what is God? God is water. And where is water? Follow the water. The water is in the fruits. The water is in the fruits. The fruits and the roots. And the roots being the vegetable. Like, I literally have the notes to give the scientific and the scientific facts and the research that I've been doing. But this is all flowing intuitively. Like, it's not even about that. Like, I don't even need that to speak my truth and give the message that it's about you and the divine. But when you make the choice consciously to eat meat or to eat a product of an animal or of any form of life, because some people out here be cannibals too, but to eat any form or destroy any form of life, that karma is now yours. You're saying, I accept this karma. This is mine. I receive this. I receive this. And you eating it is the initiation. Because you are your God source of consciousness. It's you. You are the powerhouse. You are the product. You are the factory. You are the manufacturer of your reality. And your body is your light ship. So if your source of fuel, your source of energy, your source of power is death, then guess what you're producing? Death energy. like, come on, bruh. It's so simple. It's so simple, bruh. Physically speaking, the food that you eat make up the components of your DNA. Literally alter your DNA, which alters your experience. Everything boils down to your experience of life. So you could say, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll shed a couple 10 years off my life. I don't like my life anyway. But it's not about where you will be and where you do end up. It's about where you are right now in every moment. So are you sitting here in a wheelchair? No disrespect to anybody in wheelchairs, but are you sitting here in a wheelchair struggling to take care of yourself, or sitting here obese and you can't even walk down the stairs by yourself? You can't even wash your own butt. Are you living like that? Or is it just so effortless for you to walk 20 miles? Don't even break a sweat. Choose your experience. So at the end of the day, you're going to be what you are regardless. You always going to be you, and you cannot not be you. But would you rather be your best self, be the best you, or be a stressed and depressed you? So earlier we was talking about sugar. I don't even know if I brought it up on this video because I didn't. So we already know in the average American diet, there is sugar literally in everything. You wake up in the morning, you eat pancakes. There's sugar loaded in that. What do you put on top of the pancakes? You put even more sugar and go ahead and put some syrup on it. And you already know it got the high fructose corn syrup, which is literally just heated syrup, not even organic sugar. The only organic sugar that exists is the sugars that are in fruit. Anything else has been manipulated and processed and refined. And yeah, you got certain sugars like raw cane sugar or coconut sugar that are better for you than the other sugar, but it's still processed to a certain extent. And that would be another form of organic sugar, but processed organic. But then you got the other stuff that's not even organic. It's just straight processed. And the body digests processed refined sugars rapidly. And when it does that, insulin and blood sugars levels rise. And when you have too much sugar in your blood, guess what that links to? Obesity. Because what does it do? It makes you feel as if you're not full. And when you feel like you're not full, you're going to overeat. So if they're putting sugar, oh yeah, and don't forget the sodas, don't forget the juices. Don't forget all the drinks that got all this sugar. But they put the high fructose corn syrup in the cereal, in the chips, in everything. It's in everything. Literally, it's in everything. They put sugar in everything. And guess what the number one, I don't know if it's the number one. I'm just assuming. It probably is the number one. Let's go ahead and look it up. Heart disease remained the top killer in the U.S. in 2020. And let's see what leads to heart disease. About half of all Americans, 47%, have at least one of the 3 key risk factors for heart disease: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking. Several other medical conditions and lifestyle choices can also put people at a higher risk for heart disease, including diabetes, overweight, and obesity. Boom. So we already see, if you want a one-way ticket to death, the fastest way you can get there through heart disease. And we see how you get there. Okay then. So let's say we wanna start eating healthier. Natural sugars are found in fruits, right? And sugars are just a carbohydrate that the body converts into glucose and uses for energy. So if our form of sugar that is flowing throughout the body, if sugar is needed for the blood in order for the blood to flow accordingly, right? So we need that good amount, the right perfect amount of sugar in our blood, and the right kind of sugar, not this fake artificial sugar in our blood. No, none of that. Just the straight organic sugar. And where does that come from? Fruit. So you find the natural sugar in the fruit. The fiber found inside of the fruit slows down your metabolism and expands your gut, making you feel full so you don't overeat. So we see the difference. The refined sugar makes you feel as if you're not full, which will make you eat. And then the natural sugar slows your metabolism and expands your gut. Boom. So if they're putting that fake sugar in everything, guess what? Every single meal you're overeating because you can never get enough. But if you settle for some fruit and maybe a little salad, you'll be good. But if you really want to throw down, you can go ahead and throw some grains in there, some legumes in there, you know what I'm saying? And really make it nice. So pick your poison, really, is the word of the day. So let's take it on another level and say you want to maintain the health of your body, so where you don't get any type of diseases, you know what I'm saying? You never get sick. You're always strong. You maintain a nice high sense of protein and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? How do diseases form? Oxidants, what are they? Reactive molecules that are produced both inside your body and the environment that can react with other cellular molecules in your body, such as protein, DNA, and lipids. When it does that, it damages molecules, and it's what causes disease and inflammation. So according to this, that means that we can catch disease from things going on inside of our body and things going on in our direct environment. So if there's any type of these oxidants, if in our body or in our direct environment, come into contact with us, it can change the cellular molecules in our body, such as protein, DNA, and lipids. So bringing it back to what I was saying earlier, what if there are certain oxidants inside of the food? Because if we go into what antioxidants are, a substance such as vitamin C or E that removes potentially damaging oxidizing agents in a living organism. And what foods are high in antioxidants? What really is your most powerful way of fighting disease? If you want to protect yourself, would you eat foods that lead to literal heart disease, obesity, cancer? Or would you eat foods that are high in antioxidants and prevent diseases? And not only prevent, but fight off diseases in case you were to come into contact with them, and prolong your life and cause your experience to be an even better one. Because not only are these foods high in antioxidants, the food that you eat is encoded in your DNA. If you're eating food that is rich in antioxidants, and that is making up the protein of your body and the muscle of your body and the tissue of your body, guess what that means? You're strengthening your physical body. You're strengthening your body. And in your DNA, you're literally encoding yourself to become more and more immune to the oxidants in the environment potentially and in your body potentially. That's what your protein is made out of. But if you're eating the meat and you're eating the dairy and you're eating all the gluten and all that stuff, you're increasing your chances of catching the disease. So, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty self-explanatory. How do you want... It all goes back to programming your DNA. Because everything is energy. And what are we made out of? DNA. What makes us up? DNA. So what is our DNA? It's just pure energy. And guess what? Energy, aka DNA, could be altered at any moment. If everything is energy, everything is made up of a molecular, genetic form, compound sequence. Everything has a genetic sequence that makes it appear, that makes it matter. And we boil it down, we call it energy. That means it can be shifted. And it is always changing at every moment. We're always regenerating. So you think, oh, you just come into this world, you have the DNA you were born with, and that's just what you are. That's just it. No, they love to say cancer runs in the family. This is heart disease runs in the family. Diabetes runs in the family. No, and if it does, that's because you have ancestors and bloodlines and generations of eating bad eating habits. Because your ancestors made the same choice over and over and over again. So now it's a cursed thing inside of your DNA. Do you know that your DNA is the blueprint to who you are? Like, okay, duh, genetically speaking. But I'm saying, like, your lineage, bruh. Like, trauma is stored in the DNA. Everything. The DNA is the Akashic records, bruh. And if you're not familiar with the Akashic records, that's just the thread of consciousness that flows through life, everything, experience, existence. It's just what we are. The akash, the waters, God, what people call God, where you think you're going to go to heaven. It's just the akash, and it exists in everything. It flows through all things. God flows through all things, right? And it exists eternally, ever presently. And it's always changing forms. It's always being manipulated. And so, listen. Like, this shit is getting so deep. Like, if consciousness flows through you, and that's what gives you your energy, your life, your power. You're here right now because you're alive, you're breathing, right? But where are you pulling this energy from? What's sourcing your existence? What's generating who you are right now? It's the akash. It's God, right? People love to call it God. Or the universe. People love to personify it. Call it a him. It's not a person. And it's not a thing. It just is. And it's everywhere. Picture just a fat spider web that's ethereal and doesn't actually have a physical form, but it just flows like water, bruh. Like, that's what I'm saying. Water is the manifestation of God, bruh. Oh my gosh. Like, yo, that's wow. And this was just supposed to be a nice, simple little, yeah, let's get back to it. You just see how everything comes back to God, because I'm sitting here making a video about food and the importance of that, and we circle back to life and experience because it all coexists. It's just one experience and they all coexist throughout each other. So each little thing that you might differentiate is interdependent and related to each other. So the food that you eat has a direct effect on your mental health. And maybe, just maybe, that's why you have a bloodline full of trauma. Because all your ancestors have been eating death, 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 death. And there is no life fueling your energy and your DNA. God consciousness is just pure energy. And it's high vibrational. So that means it's a source of life, or it has a source of life. And don't get me wrong, death is powerful too. It's just powerful invertedly. So it's my fault, yo. Somebody had called me, but yeah, bruh. It's just a word. I'm gonna just simplify it because this joint is getting kind of long. But just know, y'all, I didn't even get to talk about the soy and the GMO food and the dairy. Oh no. The importance of organic food. I didn't even talk about it. I didn't even talk about the red blood cells. Okay, y'all. So this was more about, you know what? We're gonna just do a part 2, y'all. Because there's so much information and there's no point of rushing this information. Okay? So, yeah, this is just an introduction to the importance of eating a plant-based diet. And I promise you, within the next couple of days, I will be dropping a part 2. And then for the part 3 season finale, I'll be giving y'all some recipes. Okay? So thank you for tuning in. Like I said, it's been a really long time no see. I hope to see y'all again soon. And just, yeah, you could come back and connect with me, bro. Like, expand our mind, really just build. Like, I could really, stop, Corey. Stop. I could really tell you something you don't know. And, you know what I'm saying? When I had these talks, when I had these conversations, I'm really talking to myself. I'm talking to you when you're watching this, but as I'm recording this, I'm filming this, I'm talking to myself. And I'm really just expanding my own mind. And if I can do this and then put it out there for other people to expand their minds as well, you know what I'm saying? We just supporting each other. So, yo, please like the video. Please subscribe, because most importantly, like the video. Because when you like the video, that's the #1 way that it spreads. Like, people overlook that button for whatever reason on this channel. But y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to tap in and let me know you like the video so we can get this out here. And yeah, if you support me, like that video, subscribe, drop a comment, send it to your friends, send it to your mother, put her on to some game. This is just a part 1. We got infinite knowledge that's dropping. All right. Peace and love. Stay blessed. Stay humble.